What if you could launch your own SaaS product, charge a monthly fee, or add a nice interface on top of your AI automation product? Similar to the profitable video editing app I built and launched in a weekend, all without writing a single line of code. Sound impossible? Let me show you how. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to build and release your own software product even if you have zero coding experience. Whether you want to create a standalone SaaS or integrate it into your AI automation product, this is a game changer. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact steps to go from idea to a profitable software product. So here's the plan. First, I'm going to explain the problem that I ran into that made me explore using Cursor, which is an AI coding tool. Cursor can build software features just by describing what you want without any coding. After setting up some tools, I'll tell the AI what I want, and it'll code a fully functional production-ready application in 5 to 10 minutes. And then, after the app is built, we'll deploy it so we can actually distribute it to our customers. First, I'll cover what we're building. I'll give you an overview of the tools. We'll configure the tools. Then we'll build a prompt that we'll use to generate a product requirements document that will feed into the AI in order to build the app for us. Then we'll deploy the app and test it. If you're feeling left behind because you don't know how to code or just overwhelmed because you don't know where to start, this video is for you. I'm going to save you years of learning that it would normally take to build something just like this. Let's get started. I have a number of products that I market through video content. To help create and publish more content quickly, I use an AI workflow automation tool called N8N to do a lot of my content automation. For example, I have an N8N workflow that uses AI to generate text relevant to my target audience and overlay it on a 5-second video clip, which I then publish to YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. N8N is great, but the interface can be overwhelming. I want my team members and customers to use the automations, not to see and edit them. So I wanted to create a simple web interface they could use to run my text overlay video generation workflow. While there are many features I would want, the first and simplest thing was to allow users to merely type in some text and just have it overlay that on a video, then post it to YouTube. So that's what we're going to build today, a web application that uses an N8N AI automation to generate videos. If you're enjoying this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me know what type of content you want more of. To build this, we need an app that can call our N8N automation. I want this to be an app that my team can use, but that I can also quickly extend and launch as a real product that I can charge for as soon as possible. Luckily, this problem has been solved already. One of the simplest ways to build a SaaS app is by using the SaaS starter kit, which is a starting code base for building your app. So for this project, we're going to need 3 primary tools. Cursor, which is an AI coding tool that we'll use to add features. N8N, that has the actual automation that we're going to call, and then the SaaS starter kit, which is the code base that's the starting point for our product. First up is Cursor, which is an AI code editing tool that lets me build features without having to write the code myself. You can download Cursor and get started with a free account. That should give you enough credits to build what we're building here today. For N8N, I have an in-depth video that covers how to create the automation that generates the 5-second videos with text overlays, which I'll link in the description below. Taking a look at the automation, we can see that it was configured with what's called a webhook. The URL for the webhook is listed here. The webhook takes 2 inputs, the text overlay and the video URL. The text overlay is just the text that we want to put on top of the video, and then the video URL is a Google Drive URL that points to the input video file that we want to use. The way we call this webhook is using an HTTP request. That's basically the way that a web browser calls to load a web page. I'll create what's called a curl command to demonstrate how this works. You can see that it has a URL and then it passes in the text overlay and the video URL. When I run this, you can see that it calls the N8N automation and generates the video. This is exactly what we want our application to do. Finally, we'll use the SaaS starter kit. It builds on top of popular tools like Supabase for authentication and database access, Vercel for hosting, and Stripe for payment processing. You can download a completely free version of the SaaS starter kit by going to user-growth.com. I'll put a link in the description below. The easiest way to start adding features to the starter kit is to set it up on your own computer. This allows you to make and test changes more rapidly before releasing them to your customers. Setting it up locally is fairly straightforward. You set up some base tools like Docker, Supabase, and Git. You download the starter kit from GitHub, then you set up and install the application and then run it. Once you have all the prerequisite tools installed, it usually only takes about 10 to 20 minutes to set everything up and start the application. Then you can open it up in Cursor and start adding features. I can also help with the setup or adding features if you need the support. After installing Cursor, we open it and point it to the directory where we've set up the starter kit. Then we open the AI agent view, and in the AI chat, we provide directions on what we want to build. Now, I could start with just a simple prompt and provide that to Cursor, but AI coding tools work much better when you provide a more detailed product requirements document, or PRD for short. The amazing thing about the starter kit is that we don't need to figure out how to create a requirements document ourselves. We're going to use a prompt file that the SaaS starter kit comes with called create a PRD. We can @mention the file in the chat agent by typing the @ and then typing in the name of the file, which it lets you autocomplete. Let's take a look at what we want the application to do. So first, the overview. We're going to build a feature that provides a screen that calls an N8N automation to generate a video with a text overlay, and then we go on to describe what it's going to do. It takes some input, including a Google Drive URL, some text. It has a form that takes those fields. It has a button that you click, and then after you click it, it calls N8N, and then it gives a success message to the user and tells them to check YouTube in about 30 seconds. And then we're also going to include the curl command in here so it knows how to actually make that call to N8N. When we run that, it generates the product requirements document with details on exactly how to build the features on top of our existing starter kit code. With the PRD ready to go, we can start building the actual feature we want. All we need to do is tell the agent to implement the requirements from the PRD, and it'll do all the heavy lifting for us. When we see this review changes at the end, we know the agent has paused and we can review what it's done. To test the application, we'll need to copy the URL for the input video from Google Drive. When we go to the app, we see it now has a new navigation item called video generation, just like we asked for. When we go to that new page, we see a form that lets us provide the overlay text and the video URL and submit it. After submitting, we verified that the N8N automation was initiated, and then we verified that the video was created and uploaded to YouTube. But things aren't perfect. The navigation item is in the wrong place. Also, if we wanted to actually release this to customers, we would want the homepage to be branded differently, not with the SaaS starter kit logo and text. Making simple changes like this requires no coding or even a new PRD. Here I provide a prompt that tells Cursor what changes I want and run it. Cursor makes these changes in less than a minute, and we can see the branding is now updated and the navigation is in the right place. So far, I've run and developed the app on my own computer, but if I want to share it with my teammates and customers, I need to publish it somewhere where I can put it behind a real domain. We'll deploy the app to Vercel and set up the database and authentication using Supabase, which are extremely popular tools with a ton of support. Deploying an app built on the SaaS starter kit is very straightforward and very well documented within the starter kit onboarding material, which has videos that walk you through it step by step, even if you're not a developer. After creating accounts on Supabase and Vercel, the one-time setup takes about 20 to 30 minutes, where you'll create a database on Supabase and then point Vercel to your database and other services like Stripe. Finally, you'll deploy the app and then test everything in the deployed environment. We go to the deployed URL on Vercel, submit the form, verify the N8N automation ran, and that our video was created. After doing a bit more customization, you can also set up your own domain on Vercel and then start marketing and getting customers. And that's how you can create a web application that wraps an automation workflow with no coding. If you're interested in working with me and a bunch of other engaged community members, make sure to jump into the SaaS User Growth Academy community. We've got a full course on how to build and grow a SaaS business that talks about what I went over today in more detail. And we also have weekly calls to give you personal help. It's a place where you can come get support while you're building your product and business. We have members who are actively working on their own SaaS products, as well as people who have had prior experience and success. I'd love to see you in the group. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.